No, it's something we decided on a few days back. Just didn't want to get anybody hurt. You know, we've had a good camp. It's been successful. We've had a lot of guys work. A lot of people that we feel really comfortable and confident in who they are for us. And we just felt exposing was not the thing to do. And so we didn't expose them.
Ron, what was your just overall assessment of the players' performance today?
Well, as a whole, it wasn't very good. Individually, there's going to be some good things, some things that we'll really feel good about. There's some things that I think some things came through that made things even more clear for us when we get a chance to really break it down tomorrow. And that's going to be the most important thing because, you know, we had some pretty good battles going on, and we had some guys that we had to take a real good look at. And so they got a lot of extended play. And this was really more about the evaluation of them than it was about anything else.
Any players in particular stand out to you?
Well, I think, you know, as we look at it, there's some guys that really did flash, and that's probably the biggest thing. You know, it was a grind, you know, because when we were, you know, down probably 27, 28 guys, and we asked the remaining guys to play a lot of football, which was really tough. And so guys were splitting a lot of times. Guys were playing a lot, you know, not just out on the field, but they were playing special teams. And, you know, we'll most certainly keep that in consideration as we go through this process of deciding, you know, what's our 53 and then what our practice squad will look like.
What did you make of Kyle Allen today?
He had his moments. He really did. You know, and again, it's one of those things that, you know, we make a play or two and the drives continue. It was good to see him out there, you know, playing his second opportunity. I thought that early on against their ones, he did a couple of real good things, but then we stalled out. But you know, he's working back into shape, so it's good to see.
Had some drops among receivers and backs. What do you attribute that to?
Trying too hard to make plays. You know, I'm watching Jerry Patterson turn his head before he completes the catch, more so than anything else, and just tells me he's anxious. He wants the ball to make a play. And sometimes, you know, you just got to understand. Just settle in, do what you've been doing. He'll be fine. He's a young man that's going to learn from this and grow from this, and you know, we'll see what happens.
What is your process over these next couple of days as you sit down with coaches?
We're going to break the tape down. Then we'll get together and talk about things as a coaching staff. We'll talk about, you know, where we rank everybody, and then we'll get together with Marty, and their staff. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss what our needs are going to be after we talk about what we think our potential 53 will be. And then we'll talk about our depth. You know, we'll sit down and we'll try to finalize it come Monday, exactly where we're headed, what direction we're going to go.
Ron, did you feel Antonio then going built on the game last week? Did you show what you wanted to see?
Yeah, I think he did. You know, he did some nice things. You know, and he tried to do some good things today. And again, this is going to be about what we evaluate and what we see off the tape today, or tomorrow, excuse me, as we go through this process.
What did you make of Dustin Hopkins' first kick? Was it blocked? We couldn't really tell, and then also his bounce back later on, the 48-yarder.
Well, you know, I really didn't care if he made that 55-yarder. What I was really more concerned about was the operation. I wanted to see a good snap, a good hold, and a good swing. That's all I was looking at. You know, it was a little bit further than what they had given me as his distance, but I was going to send him out there because I wanted to see the operation, and that to me is probably more important than what the result was going to be. If he had made it, great. If he didn't, as long as it was a good operation, I'm okay with that, because that's what this is really about. This was really about getting the operation done. He came back, he kicked another one. It was perfect. I loved the operation. Good snap, good place, good stroke.
Did you see an issue with the operation in the first kick?
Not necessarily. We'll just have to take a look at it and, you know, see what happened.
Rob, that first series with Lamar in there, they moved the ball pretty well, but then you guys, you know, tightened up and got a couple of sacks after on that drive. I mean, that had to be like one of the.
Well, that was the high point. That was the absolute high point.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at it, I mean, that really was to do what they did. That bunch going out there, a mixture of really our second and third group, to bow their neck, to get a stop, and then have them miss the field goal. That was pretty good. It really was, and to me, that really was the high point as far as that group of guys was concerned. That part of the tape will really be evaluated, really looked at, looking for the positives.
Ron, when guys suffer injuries kind of late in camp like this, like Derek Forrest and Trevor Tyre tonight, how does that go into your overall thinking or last-minute changes to the roster?
Well, it's very disruptive. you know, and so what we'll have to do is we'll have to see how he is tomorrow in the next couple of days, and then we'll go from there as far as that's concerned. You know, but when you don't have guys that aren't available to play, James William Smith was not available to play. Tuhill was not available to play. That's a little bit of a disappointment because those are guys you want to see play. Those are guys that you have slated at certain positions, and for them to get out there and miss that opportunity to work and help, that's big.
What happened with Smith Williams?
Huh?
What happened with Smith Williams?
His leg was sore.
Okay. And then is Derek Forrest's hamstring serious, or did
Well, we'll see. That's why I said we'll see tomorrow, and we'll see how he is the next day.
Let's take two more.
What have you seen out of David Bada since he's come in through the international?
Oh, you see he's got a lot of natural strength and athleticism. He's got a long ways to go. You know, going forward, going straight ahead is easy. It's all the other nuances of the game that are new to him. You know, he reminds me a lot of F.A. Obata, who we had in Carolina, who's now, you know, played well for Carolina. Now he's in Buffalo playing well for them. And you see that David has that ability to go forward. But the little nuances of feeling certain things, understanding certain things, he's still learning those things. You know, it took F.A. 3.5, almost 4 years before he really became that guy, and that's pretty much what I see with David. You know, my experience tells me that this is a guy that, you know, 3.5 years from now, about 1.5 years from now, he'll be a guy that could come in and contribute. But you know, it's kind of neat because of the international program, the way it's set up. It gives us an opportunity to take a young man who really hasn't played a lot of football and develop him, and that's what's really cool about it.
With the added depth, do you expect these conversations shaping the 53 to be maybe a little bit more difficult even than last year?
It can be. You know, again, we'll evaluate this tape and then we'll go from there.